Hi, Nicole here. Hope you're doing well. As you can see, I'm in a different location today, and I'm actually in my little office space where I process all my photos and video work. And I'm often asked about my workflow. So I thought 2022, I'm going to start fresh. I have a whole new 14 terabyte drive. I'm going to start with a fresh Lightroom catalog. And I kind of just wanted to walk through how to set that up, kind of how I organize everything in my thought process. Being a photographer for over 10 years and with a pretty quick, efficient workflow, I thought it'd be helpful if you're starting out or are curious. All right, here we go. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom. Now, on the very top, you can see that this is my 2019 catalog that I've been working in. And if I want to access any of the photos that I have in this catalog, I need to open up the 2019 Lightroom catalog. So if once I create a new one, my Lightroom will always generate or always kind of default to the new one. Don't panic, your photos are still where they live. You just have to open that catalog to work on them like you did before. Okay, so in Lightroom, I'm going to go to go to File, New Catalog. Okay, so I'm going to have a new name. So this is going to be 2022. I'll put MVP catalog. Okay. And I'm not going to put it in my pictures folder as default. And I'm not putting it on an external hard drive either. I always keep my catalogs on the actual hard drive of my computer. So I'm going to choose desktop. Because external hard drives can fail, I don't even want to run the risk of it failing and then my whole catalog is gone as well. So I always keep this separate on a desktop. All right, so I'm going to create and skip the backup. All right. Okay, so now it just generated a whole new, it's just updating some of the plugins I have, which I'll have to reconnect. But this is a blank canvas for Lightroom 2022. So excited. Now let's grab some photos, import, and go to the next step. So I just got back from an on-location shoot. I have my card reader and the extension because I have a new MacBook Pro, and I'm going to take my CF card and we are going to bring these into Lightroom. This is what I do after every photo shoot. So we have all the photos. The first thing I do is I want to copy these images onto a designated external drive to keep them safe, which I'll go to this upper right-hand corner and I'm going to go to Other Destination. This is where I'm finding my brand new drive, my 2022 drive, and I have my 2022 assignments. Now, as you can see, this is going to be the first assignment. I create a folder for the business. Since I'm a brand photographer, this could be a client name, this could be the wedding name, this could be any sort of or overarching name for the client. So I'm just gonna type client name for this demonstration and I'll just go back and do the actual name. So we do the client name and then I will do a subfolder per project because many times I'm working with these businesses over the course of the year. So this just keeps it very organized. So now I'm going to do a new folder and I'm going to do this as the test. I'm just going to write a testing folder for this demonstration. Okay, so I'm going to create and now I'm going to choose that, and that is going to be where all these images go. I'm going to you can do some keywording here. So you could put, again, the client's name, you could put maybe what the project was, but now when you look under here, this is going to actually show the destination that you've already assigned it to. So I'm just going to click on import and then all those images are going to come over, and now those images from the CF card are now on the portable drive. So once these drop in, there's not that many, there's a couple hundred. My first step is I am going to go through all of them and I give them, you can filter in Lightroom with flags and numbers and colors. I go with starring the images first. For some reason, I always start it with the 3-star, and then I go up from there, but I will go through all images. If they are in focus, if they are composed right, how I want them to be, they get a 3. So I'll show that to you now. Okay, so this is next day. I typically will do a full edit, so those 3 stars, take a break, maybe have other projects to work on, come back, but I wanted to finalize everything, send it off to the client today. So this is the next day after my on-location job yesterday morning. So I have gone through, took a couple minutes to do the 3 stars. And from those 238 images, again, small project, my selects went down to 88 images. So then my next part is now I'm going to go through and I'm going to do a final select, edit, and once I make that edit and everything's good to go, I will flag it as the color red. You can choose all sorts of colors in Lightroom. At the very bottom, you'll see red, and then there's yellow, green, all sorts of things. I sometimes will, if I'm going to send something over to Photoshop after I make some edits, I may color code it yellow, so then I know I just need to edit those. But for this simple set, everything didn't need to go into Photoshop. I'm just gonna simply do my edits, which I don't do presets at this time, so my edits are typically, maybe I need to straighten highlights, contrast, shadows. And in Lightroom, when you go into the develop mode, that's where you're making your edits. And for example, this is a great shot for this client for marketing purposes, but with the new Lightroom, some updates, there's that circle on the right-hand side. It says masking. I always refer to it as a brush. But once I go over my edits here, you'll see how I just did a quick, just brighten it up a little bit, and you can hit plus, you can do gradient, linear gradient, sometimes I do, but brush is kind of where I'm 99% of the time. So from that edit, my 88 images, now that went down to 41 images. So I have 41 images ready to go to my client. And this specific client, when I go back to library and I go to export, this client is for Dropbox. They prefer all their images to be sent to a Dropbox, which when you go into export and you click on the choose, you'll have Dropbox as your upper left-hand corner if you have that set up. So I could simply choose that, put all the information in per their specs. Some clients need more high resolution than others, and takes a couple seconds to send over to Dropbox, especially since it's only 41 images. And then from Dropbox, I will then share the folder to the client. Other clients, most of my brand clients, I will create an album in Shootproof. And I've used Zenfolio in the past, but right now I'm using Shootproof. And it's simply a plugin on the left-hand side in Lightroom. I obviously created this new catalog, so I need to set up the plugin here. And I would drag those 41 images over to a folder, publish, and within less than a minute, all those images are there, and then I can share with the client. Okay, again, this is a very simple job, very straightforward. Depending on the photography that you do, it's going to impact how you're editing on the back end. So this is not high-level retouching magazine work. That takes hours. This is not wedding photography and you have 5,000 images. So really how you shoot and what you're shooting will depend on the amount of time editing, but it's always good to have a sequence and steps that you always follow. So no matter how big of a job I have, I'm always doing the first pass of selects with my 3 stars and bringing that number down, so then it's a more manageable number, and then I go through and start editing. Once it's done, I do the red color, then I can filter it again. If I do have to go into Photoshop, I will always tag it yellow, just so, again, categorizing, and I've been doing this for years, so it's like second nature at this point, but you want to start creating some sort of flow because it just makes the editing process that much easier. This set of only 238 images basically took me 30 minutes to edit, pretty quick. In general, my turnaround time is fast. I can be getting images out to people within 2 days, obviously based on the scope of work. So, but please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. Just wanted to show this quick video to kind of get your mind around setting up a system for yourself so that you can be more efficient on the back end after you have a great photo shoot. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.